Today I'm doing a video on one of my prized possessions that I own. This is an M1 Garand National Match Rifle. I have had this gun for about 6 years now. I got a really good deal on it. I don't think they really understood what they were selling when they sold it to me, but the gun, as you can see, is just in really beautiful condition. Beautiful. I mean, I own a couple Garands, but this one's my favorite. That being said, I don't really shoot it that often. I've been advised not to shoot it that often. Couple points you want to notice on a match rifle, if you think it is a match rifle, is there's certain areas on this gun that are stamped NM. On this one, it's just about everything. So, I mean, and you can tell it's got the hooded aperture in the back. The op rod is stamped National Match, as is the front sight tower, as is the side of the barrel, as is the bottom of the gas block. And when I first got this rifle, I didn't really understand what I had at first. I really didn't know until I contacted CMP and they told me. One thing you'll notice about this, if you're a Garand owner, is this thing is tight, and I mean really tight. I own, like I said, other Garands, and none of them come apart as stiff as this one does. I mean, it's really requires a lot of effort to get this apart because it's built to such specs, and I'll show you why in a second here if I can get it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I always have a hard time getting this gun apart. Okay, there we go. Now, when I first got it, and actually this was the first Garand I ever owned. So when I first purchased it, I didn't really know what it was. Like I said, until I contacted CMP because some people told me what it was. But when I first purchased the gun, I couldn't understand what these numbers in the bottom of the barrel well were. I don't know if you can see them. They're written in white. I didn't know what they were. I didn't put two and two together until I talked to somebody who knew about the gun, and they instructed me that those numbers, I'm not going to show you, but are the last 4 digits of the serial number on this gun. And I never noticed it. I just saw them in there and never put two and two together until someone explained it to me. But you'll notice in the stock, it's all glass inlaid here. And that probably is what contributes to it being so stiff to get apart. But you see it's up around the receiver here, the receiver in the front, and then if you flip it over, there's inlay back here, in the bottom of the trigger housing, and also up here for the trigger housing. And like I said, this gun is really difficult to get apart. It's just so solid when you try to take it apart. But this is a Series 2, I guess you'd call it, Series 2 match rifle. And on the barrel, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's stamped 363. The op rod, National Match 7790722RA. I've had people look at the gun, and from what I understand, I do have the documentation for it, but this is, everything on this gun's authentic. Everything's original as it came, as it was made. I don't, like I said, I don't shoot this gun. I think it's been 2 years since I fired this gun. Very, very seldom do I shoot this gun. I take it out every now and then, put some grease on it, lube it up a little. But other than that, I mean, the barrel is just, the barrel's like new. From what I understand, the person I got it from never shot it. It sat in safe. It was never fired. It was never used. So when I got it, after I discovered what it was, because I did shoot it quite a bit when I first got it, and then after I was instructed not to, I seldom ever do. I got a couple other M1s. And if you look at the stock, this is birch stock, but I mean, the stock's beautiful. I like how it's almost like a tiger stripe back here, but it's just a beautiful stock. But those are some of the areas you want to look for if somebody's trying to tell you. I understand the earlier match rifles, they didn't have the glass. I could be mistaken about this, but from what I understand, they didn't have the glass inlaid into the stock. But I'm, I'm not a professional on these by any means, but the gun, if you look at the gun, I mean, you can tell just looking at the parts that it's had very, very little use. I mean, you look at the op rod, it's just immaculate. The gun's beautiful. There's not a mark on the gun. There really isn't. Everything about the gun's perfect, near perfect. But those are some of the areas you want to look for. And like back here on the sights, see there, it's stamped NM on the sights. 520 on the hooded aperture. 062 on the front sight. But I just wanted to show this because this, like I said, this is probably out of all my weapons, this would be my prized possession, and I own quite a few weapons. It's got the P-proof mark on the bottom of the stock. This is the trigger group. See it there? I mean, just everything about the gun just looks immaculate. And like I said, I seldom ever shoot this gun. I was basically told I'm the caretaker of the weapon and not to give it a lot of use. Now, the other thing I've learned in doing research on this is sometimes I'm going to imagine it's in this area that they write the serial number to, but from what I understand, that gets, over time, that'll get cleaned off, wiped off as you're cleaning the gun. So, no, there's nothing written there, the serial numbers, although they say that's the other place. I'm not sure if it's here or here. I'm going to imagine it's here, though. But that's the other area where you look to see the last 4 digits of the serial number written. But this, you know, I could be wrong about some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not a professional on this stuff. But from the paperwork I have and everything, this is an all original gun. Nothing's been altered on it since it was produced. I love shooting it, but I don't shoot it. It's very, very accurate too. It's a very accurate gun. But I just thought I'd do a quick video on this and show people, you know, where you look on one of these if somebody wants to ever try to sell you one. And they say it's a national match rifle, you know, the areas where you're going to see things stamped on it. Like I said, the op rod, the sight, the barrel, side of the barrel here, underneath here, on the gas block, right at the back, front sight tower. Those are areas that are going to be marked. And judging by the barrel date, you know, you can tell when this was made. So that's what puts it where it is as far as when it was produced. But it's a beautiful gun. It really is. I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's near perfect condition. I mean, it's just, I don't, like I said, I don't ever fire the gun. I don't ever shoot it anymore. I just take it out, clean it, lube it, and that's about it. It's about the only time I ever do this. And I, like I said, I got other M1s that I shoot, but this one pretty much, it's a safe clean. It stays in the safe. It very seldom ever gets brought out. But yeah, if you ever get one though, I mean, the tolerances on these things is crazy, because I have another M1 that just comes apart fairly easily, and that was a CMP rifle. But they're really stiff when you get one. You'll see what I mean if you ever try to put one together. But I mean, you got to put some effort to get this thing in. But anyway, that's my M1 National Match rifle. I thought I'd just do a quick video on it and show people. But yeah, if you look at the stock is beautiful. I mean, I just love the striping on it. I don't know if that was done or if that's just natural grain of the wood or whatnot, but it's beautiful. I love the way the stock looks. So that's my quick video on my M1. I might do one later as a comparison to one of the other ones I have. But that's what you should look for. If somebody's trying to sell you a National Match rifle, from what I understand, those are the areas you want to look for. And this gun's, like I said, it's all original. It's had very little use, as you can see. I've never done nothing to it. I've not had it reparkerized or anything. This is basically how I got it. When I received the gun, this is how I got it. Story behind the gun is I got it at I got it from someone who wanted $825 for it, and I put some money down on it. I don't know if it was I think it was a consignment weapon. Anyway, I went in the next day and they didn't want to sell it to me. But I'd already put the money down on it and I wasn't about to let them back out of the deal, so I ended up getting this thing for $825. That's what I bought it for, and from what I understand, they're getting to be quite pricey if you have one that's all original, which this one is. So sometimes this would probably be the deal of a lifetime on this weapon. I don't think I'll ever match it, but anyway, a couple things. That's what you want to look for on a National Match rifle. anyone knows anything more about them and I missed anything, feel free to drop me a line and let me know.